Hello and welcome to Uncommon Insights, where you will learn uncommon and counterintuitive ideas on how to dramatically accelerate your sales growth. Today's topic is all about how to write and present highly effective sales proposals. I'm going to cover 9 key elements or components that I think makes up a highly effective sales proposal, and then very importantly, I'm going to talk about how you actually present that proposal, because the art of the presentation is an understudied area, in my humble opinion. So first of all, let's look at how you construct a highly effective sales proposal, starting with the cover page. So item number 1, I'm going to put my glasses on for this one, is 9 is a lot to remember. The cover page title summary. How do you, in one sentence or at most 2, capture the whole essence of what the proposal is all about? Well, that is in your basically in your summary statement on the cover page, and it's the desired outcome that the client is looking for. Perhaps it's 20 million by 2021, or perhaps it's the confidence and skills to fill your calendar with 5 to 10 appointments or highly qualified appointments per week. Whatever the client is desiring to achieve as an outcome. So that was point number 1. Point number 2, is who's it for? Who is the decision maker? All right. Ultimately, we're going to talk about your proposal should be presented to the person who is actually going to authorize the project, the program, the solution to proceed. Too often I see that proposals are being presented to influencers or champions without the decision maker having been involved. That is a critical mistake. Number 3, social proof. Yeah, you've probably heard me say how devilishly handsome I am, and nobody believes that. But if you hear how devilishly handsome I am from somebody else, you might be intrigued. So social proof is key, and I love to put social proof on the cover page of a proposal. So what you're looking for is 1, 3, or maximum 5 high impact testimonials or quotes from customers, existing customers, that speak to the outcomes that the person you're proposing for, or proposing to rather, is looking to achieve. Nothing says it better than having good social proof. It's a really good convincing strategy. Point number 4, now we're working onto your the actual meat of the proposal itself, is an executive summary. Again, speaking to the client has requested a proposal to help them achieve what? The desired outcome, impact, or result that they're looking to achieve. The second thing is that what is the job to be done? In every overarching project, solution, or issue to be solved, there is going to be a number of different components of activities that are going to help to achieve the overarching outcome or result that you're looking for. So line out what is the job or jobs to be done. You know, it's increase, decrease, accelerate, mitigate, and bullet point those items out. So it's very clear that to the client or the person you're proposing to, that you've actually heard what they said they're trying to achieve. This number 6 is the opportunity or the case. I'm going to spend a little bit more time on this because this is really critical. And again, this is not about what you're telling the customer that they're going to achieve. It's about, you've had to have good discovery conversations to do this, just to understand is what is this order of magnitude improvements that they'll be able to drive as a result of working with you and your company. So it's critical that you've heard from them, you know, what are their average contract values, you know, if they were to get, you know, 1% additional increase in sales, 1% additional or decrease in costs, 1 additional sale per person, 1 month faster time to market. What is the case? And most importantly, does that gain or cost reduction actually cover the cost of the project? If you can use the power of 1, and I'm a big fan of using the power of 1 as a convincing strategy to kind of make the proposal a no-brainer. All right, but it's really critical that you've heard your client say, or if you've asked them the question, listen, waving a magic wand as we future pace, if you were to achieve all the things that you've been kind enough to share with me, you know, what's the difference that will make to your business, ideally in dollars and pounds or whatever currency that you're working with. and you want them to share that it's going, well, you know, probably about 5, 10, maybe 20% you know, increase in revenue as a case in point, and then you need to say, and what does 5, 10, 20% actually mean in real money? So that in their mind will be a big number, and when you present the price in your proposal, it's going to look like a rounding error in comparison to the results that they're going to attain. So it's really, really critical that you do some good work on the opportunity or the case for working together, and that is gained by really good discovery questions that you ask in your discovery calls. Number 7 is the approach and the scope. How are you going to solve? How are you going to implement? And what's the scope of this? Are you talking about one person, a team of people, a geography, starting with a geography, rolling out? What does that look like? And the clarity of that will give them confidence that there's a process and a sequence that you're following, and that helps to breed confidence in the eyes of the person reading the proposal. Number 8 is the investment. Critically, I think a lot of salespeople do themselves a disservice by just presenting one price. I'm a big fan of using 3 options, so they're the full Monty, as it were, a medium number, and then a lower number as well. Each designed to positively improve the business condition of the person and the company that you're proposing to, and it gives them choice. Whereas if you present only one option and it's outside of budget, and by the way, you should have qualified what their budget was before proposing, or at the very least do that as you're talking to them, as you present the proposal to them, is if you only provide one number, there's no fallback position. So if you present 3 options, a high, medium to low number, and they should all be, you know, within a relatively same ballpark. Too big is overwhelming and confusing. But if you present 3 options, you're going to be getting one of them chosen either way. So you're a winner either way. And then critically, number 9 is next steps. Where do you go from here? So, you know, decide which option suits you the best. Agree date for project kickoff or engagement start. Perhaps engage other stakeholders if need be. By this time, you should have really talked to all the key stakeholders before you're presenting your proposal. So that's the 9 elements I believe go to make up a highly effective sales proposal. Now, let's talk about presenting it for a moment here. Too often I see people emailing over their proposal, sending it without getting commitment from the customer or the client on a date to walk through the proposal together. And I think this is a really, really big misstep, because 2 things can occur here. One is you present them all the information that they need and they don't need you anymore, and because they haven't committed on a next step, it will create drift, and your sales process will lengthen or elongate, and you may eventually end up in a no decision because they haven't had a chance to talk through any of their questions or concerns with you. So I'm a big fan is before you send your proposal, whether by email or physically, you set a date with the client to walk through that proposal together, because that will allow you to address in the moment any questions that they have, or understand any objections that you have, which will allow you a second bite at the cherry if you need to polish that proposal, change, amend bits, and more. And yet if you just throw it over the fence there and hope that it does the job first time round, hope is not a strategy, said Rick Page. This allows you to polish, refine, come back, ask additional questions, qualify. Maybe if you hadn't asked them what their budget expectations were first time round and they were getting a little bit of sticker shock, this will allow you to say, well, help me understand what your alternatives are, what is a figure in your mind that would be acceptable, and again allows you a second bite at the cherry. So there you have it. They're my 9 elements to a highly effective sales proposal, and a couple of ideas around how to present it in the most effective way that will both delight your client and yourself and set the stage for a fantastic business relationship. If you or your sales team are struggling to write highly effective proposals, why not send me an example of a proposal over that didn't do the job, didn't win the deal, and I'll take a review of it and give you a little critique, and perhaps we can have a conversation around what a good proposal looks like for your organization. You know how to contact me. Give me a call. Cheerio. Bye-bye.